Welcome to the return of the son of the show. I'm Paul,
I'm Mark.
and tonight we're doing Tubi Tuesday.
Yeah, special edition of Tubi Tuesday where we go beyond Tubi to just what we've been watching
Yeah,
lately
pretty much
and what we haven't been watching.
in the spirit of Tubi.
Yes.
Who calls me from out of the pit?
So what you been watching?
I just finished Vice Principals.
Come tomorrow, there's a brand new principal in town, and his name is Neil Gamby.
Eat shit, Gamby.
No, thank you, but have fun imagining it, though. Tats.
Vice Principals, that's the Danny McBride vehicle prior to the Righteous Gemstones. So a lot of the people from Righteous Gemstones, if you watched it, which I have, and it's excellent. I didn't think they were going to be able to maintain it as long as they did,
Mm-hmm.
and it did perfectly. It stuck to the landing. Is that what?
Yeah,
is that what
sticking
you're
the
saying?
landing. That's very important to me that the
But-
show sticks the landing.
Yes. Well, Vice Principals is basically a show where Danny McBride and Walton Goggins, basically they're vying to be principal at this school where Bill Murray was the principal and he left because his wife had cancer and
Okay.
hilarity ensued. It also has the girl who plays the sister. I can't remember the actress's name, but everything she's in, she's this person.
I went to about 3 different Memorial Day parties and I always feel bad about how much television I watch, but I got into a conversation with one group and I was amazed at how much television all of us watch. And but yes, that the Danny McBride area of TV is a blind spot for me. I've not watched. I watched one of his earlier shows. There was it down
Eastbound
and Down.
Eastbound and Down was
And-
excellent.
And
I love that show.
whatever episode it wasn't a first episode. I caught part of it and didn't laugh, so I
Yeah.
never went back. Yes, everyone told me right. His shows you need to watch his show, so I'll be putting those on my list.
Yeah. I mean, I thought I won't spoil it for you then
Right.
since you haven't, but I thought the show was going to end with the whole enemies to friends to lovers
Okay.
thing between McBride and Goggins.
Yeah.
But it didn't. But that doesn't give away too much.
Well, that's true. We do need to decide tonight. Are we giving away spoilers or not? Or shall we say spoilers every time? Because
I'll just have the thumbnail just be like
Yeah.
spoiler.
Yeah.
Tubi Tuesday
Yeah.
spoiler episode.
Yeah, we're going to be spoilers.
That'll be spoilers.
Yeah.
What a time.
My probably greatest amount of television watching this past few months.
The Oneiden line?
Well, no, the Oneiden line. I don't need to discuss the Oneiden line. I already did.
Okay.
So, but yes, so all 7 seasons of that. But no, everyone at work was talking about Reacher. So I finally sat down and watched all 3 seasons of Reacher. I was pleasantly surprised at how much I like Reacher. And because Prime's original shows tend not to be very good, or at least in my opinion. And to me, Reacher is comfort food. You kind of know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
But I just thought the character of Reacher, especially in season 1, I just like his type of intelligence. He's not just. I mean, yes, he is. I mean, of course, he's eye candy for the women. That's all they talk about. But and of course he can fight and all kinds of stuff. But his different type of observation skills, I thought was really interesting. That made the show for me. That being said, I thought season 2 was interesting because we sort of get his background. His past haunts him and comes up with his current group. Season 3. They went super big on season 2. You always go bigger in the next season. 3 shrank. The story shrank, and I think it shrank a little too much.
I was in the pool!
And it was too small. I know they're tied by the book series that it's based on, but I'll probably keep watching it.
I was in the pool!
We did watch a movie the other night called like Polar or
Polar.
Polar with Mads Mikkelsen, who has one of my favorite names ever, right up there with Walton Goggins. I want Walton Goggins and Mads Mikkelsen to make a movie together. I think it's a Dark Horse comic or one of the Image
Okay.
Company comics. But Mickelson is he's a professional assassin that works for this organization called like Damocles,
Okay.
and it's you would have to retire at 50, and you get your perf and your pension,
Mhm.
and it's in the millions. Well, the leader of Damocles, who's played by the little guy from Little Britain, there's like the tall one.
Is it Matt Lucas, the
Yeah,
fat,
Matt
bald little
Lucas.
guy?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. He's like the leader of Damocles,
Okay.
and he figures out a loophole where if he kills the assassins,
Mhm.
he can collect their
Oh,
pension.
all right. Okay.
And there's that seems kind of generic, but
Mhm.
there's a really good subplot with where he goes when he retires. He has houses everywhere.
Okay.
So the hit squad that Lucas has hired goes to all of them to try to find him. But where he ended up um, is I want to say it's in like Colorado or Oklahoma or something
Okay.
like that, like someplace a small snowy area,
Mhm.
and like he meets this girl and there's this whole weird kind of awkward thing going on, and there's a really the girl's played by Vanessa Hudgens,
Oh.
and who actually is a pretty decent actress
Mhm.
for being a High School Musical alum.
Right.
um but there's a neat plot that I didn't see coming,
Okay.
based on because you think at first you think it's one of those weird May December will they won't they's,
Mhm.
but there's a lot more to it, and it was very stylistic.
Okay.
I'm telling you, uh, when the movie Smoking Aces came out, it changed how people made slick movies
Mhm.
with a lot of style and a lot of like where cameras will switch and flash around
Right.
and things will be and it definitely took the flair that Smoking Aces had and ramps it up really well.
Because I'm not watching apocalyptic fungi take over the world. I had to find my post-apocalyptic fix show somewhere else. So I started watching Paradise on Hulu, season one of that, and that's a story where um, there's a catastrophe on Earth, and they basically the president decides to save a few people, and they build this underground city, and it's kind of like the Truman Show. They sort of build this fake city with a real fake, I mean, with an
Oh,
AI
okay,
projected
okay.
sky. They build it in the mountains of Colorado,
Hmm.
and so if that was all the show was, I wouldn't like it. So, but what the show is the fact that it's a murder mystery. So
Oh,
the president gets killed in the beginning. So the man that saved them all ends up getting killed, and the whole show is about trying to figure out who murdered the president. And at the same time, it begins unraveling the greater mystery of how paradise was built and
ah,
why and who controls paradise. And is the world really destroyed out there or not? And so, and the main lead is great. He's a FBI agent. He was assigned to the president,
mm,
but the president and him have a falling out because the president is unable to save his wife, even though he promised to save her in the apocalypse.
it doesn't star Gerard Butler, does
No, but
it?
it
It sounds like
could,
a Gerard Butler
it
plot.
could. But I'm going to stick with it. I was really impressed with the fact that it was more about the characters and the murder mystery than it was the apocalypse.
Mm.
So, um, and in fact, you don't really. I mean, they use their money well. You don't see a lot of when it's a massive flood tsunami, and but what triggers it is the fact that different factions start taking over countries, and so the United States has to decide whether to nuke these countries. So there's like
Ah,
some nukes involved, and
hmm,
so it's, it's an interesting show. So
yeah.
I will stick with Paradise. We'll see where it goes in season two. It looks like they're gonna move out a bit from the city.
So it's the backdrop for a murder mystery
Yeah,
conspiracy.
correct.
Okay, I got you.
It's is it prestige TV? It wants to be.
Hmm.
It really, really wants to be prestige TV, but it's not. It's schlocky enough that it's not going to be. So
Yeah,
I kind of like it for that. I like
yeah.
it's schlockiness, and the president is the guy that played Cyclops in the original X-Men movies. That young kid.
Oh,
And
Corny Collins.
who?
Corny Collins from the Corny Collins Show.
I don't know what that is.
You never seen Hairspray?
No.
It's a bad on your list.
Hairspray?
Yeah.
With Travolta?
Yeah.
Movie? Really?
Oh God, it's great.
Is it?
Oh, dude, it is so good.
I've had no inkling and or desire to see that at all.
I,
But I didn't know he was
my kids got into it when it came out,
Okay.
and I watched it begrudgingly,
Okay.
and I unashamedly I love that movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that I did not know the reference, but
Yeah.
he is excellent in that movie in the show.
Well, he's great. He's great in Hairspray too.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Well, your hatred for musicals would explain why you didn't watch
Well,
Hairspray.
and yet I keep coming up with musicals I watch.
See?
So it's
You're-
I hate them.
You're lying
Yet
to
I
yourself.
watch them.
You're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Change the channel, Marge.
What else have you been watching?
I had to get Netflix back to finish off Cobra Kai,
Ah,
which I won't go into too much detail here, but I did finish off Cobra Kai, and in all of its delicious terribleness,
see,
wonderfulness, it's
it looks terrible.
and parts of it are, but
Okay.
that's what makes it.
Is
it
that part
a
of its
total,
charm?
Yes, it's a total encapsulation of the worst of '80s movies, and in fact, it spoilers in the next to last episode, the two antagonists end up working out together, and they do the music from the workout music from the Karate Kid.
Ah,
But they end up running all over Los Angeles, and they get like a group of kids following them. It's the stupidest, over the top. Like there's just hundreds of people working out with them by the end of the video. It's so unrealistic. But I loved every scene chomping high school drama.
I mean, you
Nostalgia
always
soaked fest.
you always were a Karate Kid
I was
fanatic. I mean,
this girl dance. So it gave me everything I wanted, and more. And so I kept it. I've now of course been too lazy to cancel it.
that's how they get you.
Yeah, that's how they get us. So I ended up watching a documentary called The Octopus Murders.
Oh, I started watching
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
that's a bad.
Yeah, I started watching it, and then I'm like, you know what? I bet my girl would like this.
Yeah.
So I stopped watching.
Yeah, I don't want to give you spoilers. The problem with these type of documentaries is they're mostly unsolved.
Mhm,
So you get a lot of conspiracy theories.
mhm.
And with just enough reality and evidence thrown in there that you kind of want to bite on it, and so you kind of want to. But this one definitely is one that you don't know. So if you want closure in your documentaries or your true crime, don't watch Octopus Murders. You're not going to get any closure. I can spoil that part. But I thought it was just interesting,
Mhm.
and makes me hate Ronald Reagan even more than I've ever hated him.
Is that even possible?
Oh yes, this Octopus Murders will make you despise him more than you possibly could. So
all right, well, I'm going to take that challenge.
It upped mine by a factor of 10. And then a weird one that I just happened to watch at a friend's house. I watched the 2025 Wolfman movie.
The one with the Ruth from Ozark?
From Ozark.
Okay. That's what I heard.
I mean, it spends the whole movie getting to his first full transformation. So, and
is this the same people that did the Invisible Man?
I don't know if it's the same. It's the same Universal monster world.
Okay.
But whether it's the same team that they did, because the Invisible Man was great.
That movie was excellent. That movie was so good. Yeah. But here he is right here.
And
he's right here.
Yeah.
No, that Invisible Man was so good that like even the jump scares that I saw in the trailer, I jumped.
Yeah.
and the tension and everything and the smallness of it.
Yeah.
And it's got that actress that everybody loves. I don't know
Oh, the
her.
one from
She's from Handmaid's Tale.
yeah,
Yeah,
she's a Scientologist.
yeah, that's why I don't care to remember her name.
Yeah, she was in Mad Men.
Yeah,
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 you know who she is.
her.
Come on, you know who she is.
So that's disappointing then about the
Yeah, the person I was watching it. We're like watching it, getting towards the end. He's like, "Are you liking this movie?" I said, "Not really. Are you? No. This is. Is it even the payoff of the transformation? I mean, it. How could you make a movie like that ending with the transformation when you've got American Werewolf in London, which kicks off with unforgettable transformation from the
Yeah,
80s.
one of the werewolf transformations. Was it a
Yeah.
metaphor for domestic violence?
No, well, no, it was more a metaphor for domestic estrangement. So, like, being alone in your relationship.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. It's also, and then also kind of about the main character being raised as sort of this loner kid with his loner dad in the middle of Oregon. So I don't know. I just didn't.
Does Ruth die for no reason in the end of it?
I don't remember. I don't think we quit. I think we stopped watching it before the end. I don't.
Okay.
I think she survives. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay.
I mean, but yeah, and she doesn't really. I mean, she's very passive in the which I don't. She's not a. After playing Ruth, she's not allowed to play passive character anymore because I don't buy her as a passive character.
I'm not one of those. Oh, they ruined my childhood by
Yeah.
making the Silver Surfer a woman. I don't care.
I think she'll be great.
But my only worry is, yes, okay, when you think of Ruth and you think of Ozark,
Mm-hmm.
there's one scene with her. Everybody knows that one scene.
Mm.
She's good at being highly volatile and emotional.
Yes.
So to see her being subdued might be too jarring.
Yeah, or hopefully she'll be a Silver Surfer that never the look on her face will be she hates being controlled and wants to kill Galactus. That's my hope. My hope is it'll just be Ruth with some silver paint on.
I'll tell you one that we have been watching is
Okay.
Poker Face. We're in the season 2, which I thought for sure was season 3, and the trailer I was watching was a AI deep fake type thing. But then I googled it and I'm like, there's only one season for that show.
Yeah.
And take a lesson, Last of Us. In a world where you guys take 3 years to make 7 episodes, Poker Face made so many episodes for season 1 that I thought it was 2 seasons. So take a note.
Yeah.
But no, Poker Face is great. It's Natasha Lyonne.
Oh yeah.
It's like
She's sort of the '90s version of our Trailer Park Girl.
Yeah, she there's just something about her that is just so fascinating. She basically, it's like if Columbo meets the Fugitive TV series, she has this innate ability, which it's not supernatural or anything, which is usually what draws me to watching anything anymore, is some kind of supernatural, super normal science fiction angle to it. But she's got the ability to tell when you're bullshitting.
Okay, cool.
And it gets her. She's working out in Vegas, and it gets her in trouble with the mob. So she goes on the lam, and she goes from town to town and has wacky adventures. But that might sound like contrived,
Right.
but they do this thing where like the first 10, 15 minutes of the show sometime, she's not even in it. And like they'll back up and show her that she actually was in it the whole time. Because like this one we watched the other night took place in a funeral home, and they were filming a movie, and there were little subtle hints that she was in the background, but so she sees all this stuff that happens and as it gets caught up, you get caught up to what she's been doing. And she's great, and there's so many guest stars. Like this one had the guy from who plays the
Here, I'll help you out.
We Are Not the Same.
We Are Not the Same.
That guy.
I need more information.
Breaking Bad.
The kid.
Esposito, something wrong.
He was
in the
Captain America. He was a Mandalorian. That's the bad
What's that
guy.
guy's name?
Yeah. I know you're talking. Hold on. He's Gus Fring in Breaking Bad.
We're good at it.
Here we are. Well, Paul, that's Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, Esposito. Yeah. Who is pretty much good in everything he does, and he played. What I like about what I really liked about him in this one is he doesn't play too tight.
Oh, okay.
The man's got his strength. He's got his strength.
Yeah, he is starting to repeat himself a little bit,
but he's kind of quirky and kind of glitchy, and it's a great show all the way around. And that's on Peacock, I want to say.
That's the one. That's the one streaming service. Well, that and Apple TV, is it called, or
Apple Plus?
Yeah.
Yeah, we keep getting trailers for cool shows, and we're like, oh, that's Apple Plus. We'll wait till it shows up somewhere else.
Acorn. Is there another one? Acorn, or is that part of Apple Plus?
They're used to. I don't think Acorn's around anymore.
Okay. There's a couple. Yeah, a couple. I don't.
But no, I highly recommend it. For nothing else, man, it's she is just the way she acts. When I say she it's like Columbo, because she everything but an overcoat. Okay. She talks like Columbo. She does this thing when she's talking, and it's so good.
That's funny.
Yeah, I like mystery. You made a post about it a while, not too long
mysteries
ago.
Being solved in an hour.
I love Mystery of the Week. We grew up on that.
Yeah.
Every cop show, every detective show had a Mystery of the Week, and then they moved on, and sometimes stuff would bounce back from earlier episodes, and that's what this is a throwback to.
If I went into all of the old man mystery shows I watch, we'd be here all night, because I have worked my way through Midsummer Murders and Father Brown. I'm now on season 4, end of season 5. I just finished season 4 of Father Brown, but I can eat my lunch and then watch a quick hour.
You're your dad.
I know.
Your dad would watch Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah.
My
brother Matt and I may one day go back and watch Murder, She Wrote. We'll see. I could see myself watching it. But I love, and good God, there's so many really good detective shows out there. So I'll recommend 2. Won't talk about it. Shetland, which is on BritBox, for being out in the middle of nowhere in Scotland on islands that has the most murders ever. I think more people are dead on that show than have lived. But Shetland's great for atmosphere. And then Vera. So the show Vera just finished its 13, 14, 15-year run.
Spin-off from Alice?
Yes, Vera. Yes, she finds her way to England and becomes, in her old age, she becomes a detective. Yes, so that's what makes it excellent. But so you're talking about mob stuff. So my mob show, since Penguin, I don't know if season 2 of Penguin's ever going to come out. I'm watching Mobland on Paramount. So Mobland stars Tom Hardy of everything fame,
of Venom fame. Yeah.
He plays Harry D'Souza, who's sort of a fixer for this mob, this British crime family. My favorite part of the show is Pierce Brosnan, who plays. He's the batshit crazy leader of the mob family. He's great in it.
Pierce Brosnan could make like an aspirin commercial.
Yeah. Helen Mirren's in it as his wife, Maeve, who I'm gonna. And so, little spoiler: Mobland season's not even over yet. But little spoiler: whether or not I'll keep watching the show is if Maeve gets hers. So, like those of you who watch Sons of Anarchy, if I had to deal, Gemma should have been killed about 2 seasons in. The fact that she lived and kept manipulating, and that's the one thing I hated about that show. And I thought Helen Mirren as Maeve was the new Gemma, but I'm hoping not. If she becomes that, then I'm done watching this show. But it's got a lot of atmosphere. It's directed by what's his name? Oh, Guy Ritchie. So that's why I went to.
Okay,
yeah.
So Guy Ritchie.
Yeah.
Have you seen Rock and Rolla with Gerard Butler,
No.
bruh. Eventually, when Steve and I get back around to doing
Right.
the Butler did it, we're gonna
Mhm.
cover it. But I'm pretty sure Guy Ritchie was the
He did.
director of
He
that.
was. Yep. Yep.
Oh man, I have watched that movie so many times.
Yeah.
I like. See, I didn't realize it was a Guy Ritchie
Yeah. So,
spiel.
and you can tell it's so Guy Ritchie in
Mhm,
the way that it's shot, in the way that it moves.
mhm.
Um, but I'm enjoying it. I mean, I'm a mob movie show fanatic, and so. But if Maeve doesn't get her comeuppance, I'm done. I'm out.
Pierce Brosnan again just has to walk on set,
Yeah.
and like your movie gets bumped up a little bit. I mean, look what happened to Black Adam.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Every time Pierce
Yes.
Brosnan shows
Yes.
up, we're paying attention. He goes away. We're like, all right.
There's a show called Jack Wright on BritBox.
The jokes write themselves.
It is, of course, as it sounds, the beginning of a will.
Okay.
I
Oh
Jack
yeah.
Wright of Sound Mind Somebody. I and it just had its first season end on a cliffhanger, which sucks
Mhm.
because we don't know if we're getting a season 2.
Yeah.
I only started watching it because it's got John Sim in it, and John Sim, he was in he was the Master and the Tenant.
Oh, okay.
He's the guy that followed Derek Jacobi as the Master in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
But more famously, he was in the TV show Life on Mars, where he played the cop who was transported back through a coma to the
You're of course
1970s.
talking about the British version.
Yes, oh God, the American version was a travesty. No reason for that show to be made. The British show is fantastic. Perfect television.
I've seen both.
Yeah.
So
So I gravitate towards anything John Sim is in, and so it's a really good show though. And he's opposite of the type. He sort of plays a washed up music exec who's addicted and he doesn't take care of his daughter. And but their father is a multi-billionaire who built his empire on making bricks, and the father is getting close to retirement. Walks out into the stables one night. You hear a gunshot, and the show opens with the will being read, and of course, madness ensues as what everyone was expecting to get in the will. You find out he did a new will at the last minute, and so the whole show is unraveling all the secrets behind everybody and what's going on. And so, and then a clever twist. Part of it is filmed in the future. So one of the characters is being filmed from jail, prison, and she keeps saying, "Well, I killed a man, so I would know these things." And so you don't know, is she you don't know who she's killed and if this father figure was killed. There's that one which has John Sim from Doctor Who, and then I was also watching Rivals with David Tennant from Doctor who plays a schmarmy TV producer.
Oh yeah, I've watched one of those.
Yeah, who hires this really good-hearted, hardcore reporter guy, and then corrupts him, and that's sort of their fight between the two of them for control of this TV agency.
Well, speaking of like cliffhanger,
yes,
getting back to The Last of Us.
Yeah,
season 2 ends on a cliffhanger, but it ends on the if you're gonna make us wait 2 or 3 years for your 7-episode season, and you're gonna end it on a cliffhanger, it is the weakest, most cliched cliffhanger of all time. I'm telling you right now, I'm still gonna watch season 3 because I'll what do they call it? Hate watch.
Yeah,
I'll probably hate watch it.
Yeah, see, I came into it not knowing a damn thing about the video game, so I knew nothing about. In fact, it's not really a show I would normally watch.
Yeah.
Somebody else was watching it. We watched it.
Yeah.
And I mean, Pedro Pascal, he's just in the whole build up in season 1 of that relationship between him and the girl.
Yeah.
That made the show for me, and and I watched it for him.
Yeah.
And so, had I known from day one that he, dies or gets killed, spoilers, not really.
The whole world knows.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Trust me, TikTok is polarized.
Yeah, I'm on the anti. I mean, I really think he's got that brother in the show.
Yeah, Tommy.
I'm like, don't Forget the video game. Forget appealing to the video game people. Just change the damn plot and let Pedro Pascal live.
Yeah.
Let him suffer for a year for what he did at the end of season 1.
Yeah.
And then bring them back together. Do something like that. But the fact that I have no desire to watch this show now. The rest of the characters are not compelling to me. So
No.
except only in context of him.
Yep.
So,
Yes. Yeah. Don't end on a weak cliffhanger if you're going to end on a weak cliffhanger. Make us wait.
Yeah, and don't kill the person who most people who don't know the video game are watching the show for.
I mean, let's face it. Everybody loves Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
And people that don't, I ain't got no time for.
Right.
He was the draw.
Yeah.
And now, yeah, sure. I'm sure in season 3, they're going to have flashbacks because, that's what they do.
Yeah.
But it's too little, too late.
Yeah.
What about Buck?
I did watch Andor season 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's my big watch. Season 1, I'm not as big of a fan of season 1 as everybody else was. I think the prison episode was good. I think the rescue, or where they had to get something about a comet with light and they had to fly a ship in or something. I don't remember. But that was a good episode, but the rest of it I thought was really slow. Season 2 was somebody don't remember the name on TikTok. I can't give the guy credit, but he was calling these were the pequels. Andor season 2
that's what I've heard.
was just incredible. I'm gonna fanboy about it. It's not, but I would disagree with everyone. It's not Star Wars. It's Star Wars. You like Star Wars as a kid, now you're grown up and you want to tell it from an adult perspective. It doesn't really it has to. That's why, if you noticed in Rogue One, the tacked on ending in Rogue One, where you get the big Darth Vader corridor fight and you end with Princess Leia, that's to me, that was a transition to, okay, you're coming out of this adult contemporary story back to the fantasy world. And so Andor sort of has to make the same movement back to the fantasy. But this is
Star Wars is for kids, man.
It is, but Andor is not for kids. Andor says, let's take a look at what it means to have a revolution, what it takes to be in a revolution, what it takes to follow an empire. The depth of character exploration in this show was just incredible. But season 2 is just a totally different beast. I was not bored at all during season 2. Of course, this is it. There's not going to be any more Andor because they loop it right into. Well, and they were going to. They're going to loop it right into the Rogue One movie.
No ifs and or buts.
And or buts, no, but no Endor, no Ewoks.
All right. Well, at the risk of to keep us from going on and on and on.
Yes.
I think that'll
and to make you depressed at how much television or I watch.
Well, yeah, some of us read books. Seriously, I only read a lot of books because my girlfriend was out of town for a week and I was bored out of my mind.
I read all day for a living.
Yeah, this is true.
I have a hard time reading books.
But on that note, I'm Paul.
I'm Mark.
And this has been the return of the Son of the Show.
Somewhat To Be Tuesday edition. To be adjacent Tuesday.
To be adjacent. Yeah. To be or not to be
or
adjacent.
not to, yes.
There it is.
Yes.
To be or not to be adjacent.
Yes.